Let's go, studio. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we're continuing our trek across the diaspora as we watch the trains go by. We have a new fascination these days. Well, I do, with the train. Having not grown up at a time when the train was running. Yes, it was towards the end, tapering off, but not being able to experience the train in its so called heyday. We can only imagine the fun that so many Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica had traveling on the train. So I was sitting here spellbound watching the train, and the day before it was pretty much the same thing, and it seemed like forever for the train to pass. Just keeps going and going and going and going, and you can still see it all the time. Yes, that's quite something. Seems quite simple, doesn't it? One of the marvels of life. And so we thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, and taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. And that number is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Can we greet those of you faithful listeners and viewers all over the world who are online and watching? Thank you so much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. So Joan Brooks says, mark me present, Ocala, Florida. Welcome, Joan Brooks and all the others from Ocala in Florida. It's good to have you join us on both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Velta Wilson is also on board saying, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners at home and abroad. Good afternoon, Velta Wilson. Thank you very much for tuning in. Gray Shim in not New York, but New York, or it should be York if we're going with the spelling. Y-A-W-K, York, New York, says Gray Shim. Cherry Henry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Have a great afternoon. Same to you, Cherry Henry. Good to have you on board. Thank you very much. And all the very best. And let's see who else is on the line. Gray Shim says, Mr. Malcolm, you're there Afarin still? Yes, indeed. We're still here. Still here, taking care of business one way or another. And Gray Shim, thank you very much for following us. Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois. Well, I don't know if she's in Skokie, Illinois right now. She'll tell us if she is, but good to see you online, Dr. Dunn, who is usually in Skokie, Illinois. Gray Shim, good afternoon once again. Ricardo in Glengough, St. Catherine. Good to have you on board. Thanks for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Clarence Brown, thank you very much for staying in touch. Good to see you online, Clarence Brown. Good to see you online. Thank you very much. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida, still celebrating the wedding anniversary, I'm sure. What's it, about 40 years, Mas Albert? That's a long time, man. That's a long time. And you've kept it together. Wonderful. Well done. Let's see some of the other messages. Richard McClarty. Good to see you online, Richard McClarty. And hello once again to our friends over on YouTube. And we thank you very much for tuning in and joining us. And let's see, we have someone on the WhatsApp phone, the WhatsApp line, same as the text line. Let's listen up. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm okay. So you're in Jamaica right now?
No, I'm still in New York.
Oh, I don't know. I just can't pick up on my system, so I just try normally to work. But anyhow, I'm going to talk about, so I'd rather wait until I come home. So by weekend, you're home?
No, all things being well, sooner than later.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to talk about, but I know when you're overseas, you're kind of extra busy, so I'll wait until you return.
No problem at all. Thanks for the call.
All right, boss.
Good. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Now, there are those of you who would remember the company Finley's Shipping. We got news today that the founder of Finley's Import Export Incorporated he has made the transition. He's no longer with us. The founder of Finley's Import Export Incorporated. Finley's ship to the Caribbean passed away yesterday evening. Mr. Lloyd R. Finley started Finley's in the late 1970s, and it eventually became a household name, synonymous with shipping to Jamaica and eventually the Caribbean islands. He will be missed by his children, wife, other family members, and friends. May his soul rest in peace. And perhaps at this point, even as we celebrate Jamaicans at home and abroad, broadcasting reciprocating between Kingston, Jamaica, and here in Orangeburg, New York. There is a particular recording, and we would like to humbly and respectfully share this selection. Time to Say Goodbye. The edition by A.J. Brown. Time to Say Goodbye, as we remember those loved ones, family members, friends, colleagues, neighbors we have lost within the last, I would say within the last 3 years or so. And so if for those of you who are accustomed, who remember the days of shipping with Finley's import export, Finley's ship to the Caribbean, passed away yesterday evening. Mr. Lloyd R. Finley, who started Finley's in the late 1970s, and it eventually became a household name synonymous with shipping to Jamaica and eventually the Caribbean islands. He'll be missed by his children, wife, other family members, and friends. May his soul rest in peace. This one, as we said, for Mr. Lloyd R. Finley and all those we have lost over the last 3 years or so. Time to say goodbye. Studio? Hello? Yes. Yes. That's correct. Thanks. Our own, our own AJ Boots Brown musical tribute on the passing of Mr. Lloyd Finley, the founder of Finley's Import Export Incorporated. Mr. Lloyd R. Finley started Finley's in the late 1970s, and it eventually became a household name synonymous with shipping to Jamaica and eventually the Caribbean islands. He'll be missed by his children, wife, other family members, and friends. May his soul rest in peace and light perpetual shine on his face. Thank you for your indulgence as we pause to pay tribute just now here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Pora 106. No doubt there are listeners out there who have benefited one way or another from the shipping services of Finley's Import Export. For those who remember those days, feel free to remind those of us who know and enlighten those who don't as far as Finley's import export is concerned. So while we continue the dialogue here on your program, Both Sides of the Story here on Pora 106 FM, let's just check in with you, our faithful listeners all over the world, and just to make sure everybody gets a greeting. Gareth Peterson, good afternoon to you. Calvin Roberts, sorry we weren't able to pop into your piano shop in North York, Ontario, Canada. But it's good to have you online. Good day to you too. Sylvia Myers, Darren Finley is also tuned in, one of the sons of Lloyd Finley. Pauline Henry, good afternoon to you. Joan Smith, Norman Hines in St. Thomas says, blessed afternoon, Mr. Dervan, Malcolm, and listeners all over. To you too, Norman Hines. Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois says, good afternoon, sir. Ambassador Malcolm, yes, I am in Skokie, Illinois. Longing to see you in this neck of the woods. Smile. And all you have to do is to say the word. The word. The song says, "Just call my name and I'll be there." Faye Weller, good afternoon. She says, "Hello, Mr. Dervan and faithful listeners." Good afternoon, Faye Weller. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good to have you on board both sides of the story here on Horror 106 FM. We're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. Let's take this call on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
It seems as if we are just the only person having a conversation for the past 2 days on both sides of the story.
Maybe people are a little experiencing fatigue. That could be a possibility.
The people are just jealous knowing that you're still in the diaspora. You know, they are jealous. You know, cause Dervan them love when you're there on the rock. You know, them feel you more. You know.
Yeah, well, we are feeling the weather more by not being on the rock.
The people them love when Dervan they are Jamaica, them feeling more, you know.
I hear you. And we are the ones who feel the weather more when we do. So, for example, it's been quite chilly and wet and rainy here in Orangeburg, New York. So,
yeah. Dervan, on a more somber note, right? I know that you're a person who don't like to hear about the I would say the gruesome part of our beloved country, but I don't know if you know. Last night there was a
quadruple killing.
A fopper killing, and when I say fopper, I just use it as a slang to mean four. You know that when it's three, we say triple. So a fopper killing took place last night in this place named Kral in Olaba. Dervan.
There's something about that place name because something quite tragic happened in Clarendon years ago.
15 years ago, there was a killing in that place. The only
not that place, but another place of that name. Another place of that name. Yes.
So what I'm saying, you know, Dervan, this beloved country of ours has become more like a killing field, because a day before, last week there was a killing in Grandspen where 3 persons lost their life in that gruesome attack on some gentleman. And the week before, there was another triple killing in Waterloo, in Saint Catherine, a Spanish town.
Yes.
Dervan, I don't hear the people who form the groups and the gang come out and speak about it. What you have to say about that, Dervan?
Maybe they too are suffering from fatigue. This has been going on for decades. And we demonstrate, we put editorials on the front page of the Gleaner and other and Observer and wherever else. And we have marches on the streets in this community and that community, and it just continues. And it's not going to stop until the people decide that it's time to stop.
Yes, Dervan, and I am going to start now. Dervan, do you believe that we Jamaican are the most cowardice people on the face of the earth now? We are the most cowardice set of people on the face of the earth now, Dervan. I repeat it.
No, I don't think you could come to that place, that conclusion without backing that up in terms of the essence of why you have come to that conclusion. Help us to make sense of that.
Dervan, are we still the country that bring forth a nanny? Dervan, are we still the country who bring forth a Paul Bogle? Dervan, are we still the country who bring forth a Sam Sharp? Dervan, are we still the same country who bring forth a Tachi? Are we?
Well, that's a question. That's a question only the people of Jamaica can answer.
Dervan, we have become a set of carnivores. We are coward. We are only behaving now like savage in this country.
Well, we have to exorcise those demons that are apparently, and we can only put it this way, demons who have found their way inside of our people and leading them astray. What else can we say?
Dervan, how can we let 122 person is leading this country to chaos? 122 person.
Really?
Checking right.
Who are those people?
Dervan, the parliamentarians. Dervan, they are the people who we have put our trust in to put this country on a foot in 1970 to 1980. This country was ahead of Canada and the US.
Those were the good old days.
Dervan, you don't say yes or no, Dervan.
No, I mean, I determine how to respond to questions that are asked.
No,
you may not like what you hear. You may not like what you hear. But just as how you are free to express yourself or not express yourself, just as how you're free to express yourself or not express yourself, I'm also free to express myself or not express myself. And there's nothing you can do about that.
Dervan, I am sick and tired to know that this country where electricity was here before the United States, we teach people in the UK about using proper toilet, and we let those people reach first world standard all because of 122 person, Dervan.
In your estimation, what you're saying is not factual. You have drawn a conclusion based on your own information gathered.
Where have I gone wrong in my argument, Dervan? Where?
If those people you number as opposed to name are culpable, then why aren't the police going for them and the army and whoever else need to bring them in to custody?
Because they are lawmakers. Those people are the lawmakers in the country. Those people are the lawmakers and the people breaking the laws.
Is there a country in which people don't break laws?
Dervan, I'm speaking about
lawmakers. Hold a moment,
Dervan.
please. Hold a moment.
I'm speaking about lawmakers, Dervan.
249 on Power 106. Thanks for holding. Go ahead, please.
Dervan, I cannot say anything more because did you know that our country was built on piracy? Did you know that the Dervan?
Jamaica, like any other country in the world, has evolved and is still evolving.
In piracy, from piracy, because remember, I know the Dervan, our country is one of the country in which a pirate, a criminal was turned into a governor. And I'm speaking about Henry Morgan. And it seems like it has just continued same way, Dervan. How can we exorcise that demon? How can we?
By getting a very good handle on the particular situation and putting the appropriate solutions in place and enforcing what needs to be enforced and applying what needs to be applied in terms of sanctions. Because we can't break the law as much as some of us would love to. We can't break the law in a bid to enforce the law. So it's just like justice. We call out for justice. Nothing is wrong with that, except that in furtherance of justice, we all still have to do justice. Otherwise, we're just as bad or even worse than those who are engaged in acts of injustice.
But Dervan, at the other end, we were gifted with a Marcus Garvey to put this pirate in what we'll call them lane. We were gifted with a Marcus Garvey, but up to now, Marcus Garvey philosophy is not being taught in our school, and it is not being practiced is not being practiced. It is the same philosophy from Queen Elizabeth. The act of piracy. And Dervan, if we continue, we'll just keep on experiencing things like the 1807 earthquake and the 1907 earthquake, because only God can save us.
We hear you loud and clear. We understand the frustration. You're not the only one, It's not because some of us don't voice it. We have different ways in which we play our part. Everybody has a different role to play in trying to bring our country to a greater level of sanity, i.e., our behavior. Yes.
Dervan, these musicians, they are a set of disgrace. The musicians, they are a set of disgrace.
No, but when you make a sweeping statement like that, you don't help your cause either. You start at the beginning.
Dervan,
You just started at the end a while ago. You started at the end a while ago.
I see. Dervan, listen to me. I see the fire burning. It's getting hotter and hot. The have-not want to be
the haves want to be in the shoes of the have-nots.
Yes, Dervan. We need message like those to ignite the people. Did you know that when Babandi sing that song in 1972, Michael Manley was heading the government, and him after calling Bob and asked him where him a deal with him a inside war. Dervan, we have to take the street, Dervan. I mean as PMP and GLP, Dervan, we have to take the street as Jamaican and take back this beautiful country that people like Usain Bolt, Shelley and Fraser Price, Bob Marley, and I could name on of the people who have given this country and put this country on the map of the world, and the map all over the world, from Japan to China to Timbuktu. We have to take it back, Dervan.
Your position is quite clear.
Thank you, sir, and I hope that the rest of Jamaica is listening. We are not on the back of 80. We are not at the doorstep of 80. We are just a touch away from 80. Just a fingertip away. Thank you, Dervan.
Thank you for the call. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon. No, no, if you're legally and lawfully discharging your duties, you are doing the right thing. You know, for a long time they weren't paid at all, though. You know that. That is. Mm, mm. Well, they are now getting a stipend, I believe, whereas before they wouldn't be getting any. Sorry, hold a moment, please. One moment. 301, 301 on Power 106. Thanks for holding. Go ahead, please. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us as well on WhatsApp, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. Thanks for holding. Please continue. Yeah, part of it is some of us are exude a level of inadequacy in making choices that are capable of bringing forth change. And invariably, we have some of the wrong people in the right places. For as long as there is such a disparity, we will forever fall down when it comes to parity. So that's a part of the challenge, because the ideally you want the right people in the right places doing the right things. And where we find that there are shortcomings, we need to act and act early enough to stem the tide, as it were. Uh, Other than that, it's just the same old, same old. Well, only we can help ourselves. Only we can do what needs to be done. And for as long as we wait to do it once and for all, and to buck the trend, we'll continue to swim upstream Or then we become like Sisyphus, pushing this mighty rock up a hill, only for it to keep rolling back to its original position. Yes, go ahead with your final words. How do we get there? How do you get to that point? The judiciary is very corrupt. Where's the evidence of that? Where does that come from? Where's the evidence of that? Who is he? Hello? He who? He was saying what? I'm listening. Well, that can only be tried, tested, and proven in a court of law. Hello? Yeah, that's where they need to work it out, in the court of law. That's where such matters are dealt with. You're a wealthy man. Why did you decide to stay in Jamaica? Oh. And the key word there is harmony. And those who are into music know the importance of numbers when it comes on to harmony. Numbers, particular segments, sections, groups, but each having the same level of focus and interest to make the music as harmonizing as possible. Thank you very much, and thanks for the call. Take care. Bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Galena's website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Good afternoon to Joan Richardson in Bermuda. Trust all is well with you and yours, Mrs. Richardson. Inez Ayona Campbell, always with us as well. Thank you. Pleasure to have you join us. Welcome. And Dave Ian Paddy says, good day, Dervan, and to your listeners watching from LA. Welcome, Dave Ian Paddy in LA. Dale Walker, Gavith Peterson, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good to have you on board. And all the very best. More in a moment. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Good afternoon, Donovan Campbell. Thank you very much for joining us. Good to have you on board. Hello to Lester Hines as well. We're still here in your territory, Lester Hines, still here in New York. And we haven't caught up with you yet. That's not good, is it? We'll have to fix that. And hello to Oliver Huey. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us as well. And keep those messages coming in. Let's get back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Are you there? Hello? Yes. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We go until 5 o'clock this afternoon, Jamaica time, 6 o'clock, New York time. And we're continuing with more of your messages. So we have a call from Bunty, listener who goes by the name Bunty. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Glad having you, man. Patient, man. Very patient. All right, what you call it was just discussing about the crime and violence in the country, and especially in Jamaica, but it's everywhere. But I would explain to tell him, most of these dead people, them can bring peace in this universe. One person can do that. And if he got there, then if you read him, I know he must be listening. I'm saying to him now, and all your listeners who complaining about crime and violence, if you take time out and read the Bible and give some value to them, that's everybody is knowledge about that accurate knowledge. At first, Matthew 6 verse 33 says, "Must see God's kingdom first, all things added unto you." Matthew 6 verse 9 and 10, our grandparents teach you that try again. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. It's me that government, this is Jesus Christ. 1914 BC, you know, that's where war started, you know, they throw backland through the adversary down here, what we call the devil, or the serpent, or the adversary. And then when we push away God's word and try to do our own thing, all these come upon us, and we push away God's word and do our own thing. But if you take time off and read John 17:3, Matthew 12:24, 1 John 5:19, Revelation 12:9. All these things are coming like a puzzle and understand to look here. A one man, no politician, no head of state and government can bring peace in this universe. I'm talking about Jamaica. And some places worse than Jamaica because many people are traveling. Some people right now have to hide and take up the food and hide in a cave. So these are things that we must understand and don't.
Sorry, sounds like somebody is holding court where you are. Sounds like you have a court case going on where you are right now. That's all we're hearing in the background.
Sorry?
People talking in the background. It's a lot of noise.
Oh, I'm trying to move away from them. Yes, Dervan. So even people on the board, they even understand the expression board and philosophy. They push the God word and do their own thing. I'm not bashing the Prime Minister, but look, he said, we must be too quickly. And at the same time, what the man said, not spare the rod and spoil the child. That means that we must be able to people that ignorance. But children need to be schooled. So all these things are put together and understand human. So none of us is righteous enough. We're all born in sin and shame and iniquity. And that's why I say, rather not to see the better for sinner more than them to turn around. Turn around to what? Studying the Bible and add good principles. So the Bible changes life. I will not kill one another. The Bible says, love him with all our heart, mind, body, and soul. And then love our neighbor as we love ourselves. We don't do that. We just push away and take on our life. Because we do one another, devil, the thing with a murder our brother or sister. We would never do such a thing. But no, we make Satan overpower us. Not many people know. Mr. Dervan, I want you to take up this in hand, even when you come back to Jamaica. Remember, you live in Spanish Town. You do something in your area that's wrong. They say it's wrong. And somebody accuse you of something. And the judge will remove you from Spanish Town to Kingston. And you must not be seen in Spanish Town. Suppose that's the only place you have to live. You tell me, what should you do? So that look like a breach of human rights. Where is the human rights and the government and those who make law? Where are they? Especially for the poor, for when you have money, you do anything and get away. You do anything and get away in this special country, not in India. So right now, see, the president, I run back to president, and yet someone who counts, I think they say against him. How many? See? And I know you must listen to me and hear that. But Mr. Dervan, thanks for your patience. What I'm saying, when you get back to Jamaica, I want you to call up the lawmakers them and say, how could the judges do such things? Yeah. You are in Canada, in certain state, and if you do something, I don't think them say you are another state. It makes them put you in the house or arrest and you stay at the house. That's all. Or put on tracking device on your foot. But Jamaica now, you live at a place and they move you from whichever you live to some place where you have more people there. You under such an abuse like pigsty sometimes. You can't eat a good meal. So these are what? We have human young people or old people rights. I want to comment on when you come back to them, so someone call up the lawmakers and ask them if it's that right. So Dervan, I am telling you, this is not right. But these people who call at them, tell them take time and read the Bible. Tell them bring them in knowledge from you. So all the best until I hear from you, and I hope everything is going good.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can also send us your WhatsApp messages. We have a few of those now. Let's see how quickly we can clear them. Who is this now? Bureau of Standards. Let's go up the line and clear the others. Let's go up the line. Franklin McDonald in Guelph, Canada, has shared a link with us. Find good mentors. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Thank you, Mr. McDonald, for sharing as usual. And we see a couple of other messages here. Let's go along the line here. Bear with us. We're clearing the message backlog to come to the most current of the messages. Who is this now? Not sure. All right, let's move on. This says, on Wednesday, St. Hugh's most beautiful teacher, over 20 years of service, head of Department of PE Department and former student of St. Hugh's High School, Latoya Hines Brown, celebrates her birthday. Happy birthday when it comes, Latoya Hines Brown. Words can't express how happy we are at the amazing mother, teacher, boss you've become. May God continue to grant you favor. Greetings from St. Hugh's past students, local, international, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hines, family, friends, well-wishers, children, Jaheem and Jamal. Hope she heard. James in East London has sent us the usual collection of stories. Albanian man, 42, appears in court charged over £1.9 million cannabis farm that was discovered above town centre, job centre plus building. Prisoners were crammed into tiny cells with a shared toilet inches from where they ate. One of Britain's oldest jails remains an unfit place for prisoners to live or to be rehabilitated, a watchdog report has warned. Sat-nav owners could face a £1,000 fine as major UK driving law change comes into effect. The Home Secretary will say in a speech in the US that asylum seekers picking their preferred destination is absurd and unsustainable. Swella Braverman will use a speech in the US to declare no migrant crossing the Channel to Britain is in imminent peril. The tribunal took into account her health struggles at the time of the incident. Who's this? Grain Smythe, the ex-head teacher of Leytonstone School, who admitted to 2 counts of fraud, will not be disqualified from teaching following a hearing by the Teaching Regulation Authority, TRA. Lee Wright took his wife and 3 children aged 13, 11, and 3 hostage in May. He bundled them into a bedroom and vowed, oh dear, let's jump over that. That's so vicious. And he did that while drunk, a deranged father. And it goes on. Oh boy. The decision to bring a murder charge following the shooting of Chris Kaba has prompted some armed Met Police officers to revolt and stand down. We did read this already or highlight it yesterday. Yeah, these are some of the stories coming out of the UK. Thank you very much, James in East London, for sharing. Rohan Johnson from Atlas Ocho Rios says, I am encouraging all road users to, let's take the break and come back. Let's go, studio. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Let's see. Karine Campbell says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Viewers, listeners, good afternoon, Karine Campbell. Good to have you on board both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Let's go to the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Uncle Dervan, Malcolm. How are you guys doing?
Good afternoon. We're fine. Thanks. And you?
I'm great so far. I'm so happy to talk to you guys. Good to talk with you guys. I heard that you are abroad. Enjoy yourself, teacher. Hope you are enjoying yourself so far.
So far, so good.
Yes. Teacher, I want to talk about something. You as the talk show host always consider you as a brother. We are brothers by the Lord's side. And I am like a younger brother to you. Teacher, let me ask you a question. Do you consider me as your little brother?
No.
Okay. I mean, in a bad religious way.
Oh, you're a regular listener and contributor to the program.
Yeah. But to me, you're like a brother to me, an elder brother.
That's very kind of you to say.
Teacher, what I'm going to talk about right now. Two months ago, when I was listening to international news, I think NBC News or something like that, they were talking about Hollywood actors are on strike. How Hollywood actors were on strike?
It is what it is. Hollywood actors were on strike.
Yeah, yeah. And it seems like some of these actors are not getting the pay that they're supposed to get. Because I think because some of these patent production company have bankruptcy or something like that and financial issues. What is the problem? Why actors have to be on strike in Hollywood, teacher? Help me with this situation.
Well, you just put forward a possible reason. Payment, money, remuneration.
Payment and remuneration.
Same thing. They mean the same thing.
Yeah. It is very rough when a company have financial issues, though. Very, very rough. There's a song that say by Budget Band and that say it is not an easy road. It is very rough, though. Like, seriously.
Is that all you have on your mind, or do you have another subject to add?
I have the subject on my mind. But teacher, what is really going on? Like, seriously, how actors were on strike like that because of payment situation in Hollywood, some financial issues? How they just on strike like that?
If you want to get a quick answer, just Google the information and you'll be good to go.
Because sometimes companies can face financial issues and bankruptcy.
Well, as it is now, you're guessing and supposing. Well, you can throw all of that out the window by just Googling.
Yeah. But teacher, let me ask you one more question before I go. One more. How did some companies face bankruptcy? How bankruptcy happened at some companies? How that really happened?
Each case is unique. It happens. It's a part of life. When especially new businesses are established, invariably within a certain period, half of them just die. And that's it. You try again, or another group of people, another set of entrepreneurs go back into the trenches and see what they can produce. It's a story of life. There are ups and there are downs.
That is true. Because I remember in 2020, so when the pandemic just came in Jamaica, I remember a lot of people lose their jobs. Students have to do online classes, that kind of thing, and people did lose an amount of money at that time when it was COVID. It was very rough, though.
Again, story of life, ups and downs.
Yes, but the economy is back to normal.
Normal is relative.
Yeah. That is true. Thank you very, very much. Teacher, do me a favor, please. Can I ask you a favor?
I'm listening.
Teacher, can you give me a call later because I would like to introduce you guys to myself. I would like to tell you guys my story about what type of person I am. That type of thing. That type of thing. I want to introduce myself to you guys. I want you guys to get to know a little bit more about me, but I can't talk such things on here. We can talk off here later.
No, in fact, I try as much as possible to not engage in off-air conversations with listeners for various reasons. If it cannot be said on air, then it won't be said at all.
Yeah. That is true. Very, very true. Good to talk with you guys. Nice to talk with you guys all the time. It has been a pleasure. I am enjoying your program so far.
Thank you very much for the call. All the best.
Hold on, one more thing. I have something to tell you. I remember a couple of years ago when I go to an event when I was a young little boy. I think the event was Sun in the Sun. When I go there in 2014, I think I did heard you talking there at that event in 2014 a few years ago.
Well, happy you were able to listen.
Yeah, yeah. Good to talk with you guys. Been a pleasure. Take care.
All the best.
All the very best.
Bye bye.
My brother. Yeah.
This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. MJam says, I wouldn't call any listener off air. I'm afraid of being accused of things I did not say or do. That's the point, MJam. That's it. You hit all the nails on the head. Thank you very much. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Sophia Nemad in Newell, St. Elizabeth says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Sophia Nemad. Good to have you online. All the very best. 876-922-4112-5. Those are the numbers to call if you wish to participate in the discussions or introduce your own subject matter. This one says, this is from Rohan Johnson from Atlas in Ocherios, saying, I am encouraging all road users to make safety be their number one priority while driving on the nation's roads. Coming from Rohan Johnson, Atlas Ocherios, clocking in, he says. Here's another, good day. The message simply says, good day. Good day to you too. And thank you very much for your message. All the best. David Crossburn says, hello, Dervan. Good day to you and your listeners. May the full measure of God's grace be upon you as you continue your splendid task. Kindly convey condolences to my dear sister, Patricia Price of Elmont, New York. The passing of Ermine Price, the matriarch of the family, has left a void in all our lives. Blessings, David. Sorry to hear of your loss. We convey our condolences to your family, friends, colleagues, neighbors of the deceased. Family, friends, colleagues, neighbors, well-wishers. May their souls rest in peace and light perpetual shine on their face. Barbara Horton says, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world. Not feeling so well today, having the flu, so I am taking a break from the work. Have a great afternoon. God bless. And we wish you good health and strength as you recover from the flu. Barbara, all the best. Here's another one from Horace, otherwise known as Spider. Where does it start? It says, all well-thinking and honest Jamaicans should be proud of the Integrity Commission on the outstanding amount of evidence that they've unearthed on the bends. Maybe the others are trembling in their boots as we speak on either side. I'm not a doctor, but I know that she doesn't have a heart problem when she heard the evidence reading out. The PM must have asked everyone in his party if they are any of the six. I think he would have said something about it by now. Or I thought he would have said something about it by now. Unless we have ghosts running our parliament and they don't know that they are ghosts, I guess some of these people underestimated the greatness of the Integrity Commission. That's Horace, otherwise known as Spider. Thank you very much for your message. Another of the messages now. Greetings. And George Wright would have been the ideal speaker because he's independent. Plus, he's no fool, and he could rule with his iron stool. From Crocs in Black River. Thanks for your message, Crocs in Black River. We'll come back with more in just a moment. Let's go studio. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. Cuban in Georgia says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. I found it fascinating. I found it fascinating with your attraction to the train service and how it moved thousands of commuters nonstop. Well, in this instance, it's a cargo train actually, and since we've been here in New York, we have watched it go by a few times, and it seems like forever. Like you'll never see the end of the train. It just keeps going and going and going. Right, so that's part of the fascination. Most of it is cargo, driven by cargo. What a difference that would make in Jamaica in this day and age to be able to ship, to move cargo in that way in this period in our history. Here's a message from Cuban a few threads of messages from Cuban in Georgia. He says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. I found it fascinating with your attraction to the train service and how it moved thousands of, we just dealt with that, not commuters, but cargo. I wonder when we going to get back our trains into service to alleviate the heavy flow of traffic off our streets. Sir Malcolm, who is the hitman or gang that involved in carrying out these violent and vicious attacks on the state and citizens? And where is the investigation branch of the police? They're doing what they've always done, investigate, aren't they? Why can't they come up with evidence and prosecutions against these criminals who are molesting, abusing, and harassing the public on a daily basis for extortion money? Well, that one runs a little deeper and it's a little harder, the extortion bit, because people keep seeing their lives in front of them. Once they are in the presence of or happen to be in certain places, they start to waver as far as their mortality is concerned. But anyway, the message goes on, messages go on. Sir Malcolm, we in the diaspora hear the complaints and griefs of our poor citizens, and we're working together to bring oppression of Black people to an end, to restore dignity, peace, and calm to our society, and get the people going forward in one accord to bring back civility to our beautiful nation of Jamaica, land we love. And the final bit of this message from Cuban in Georgia: the living conditions of the ordinary citizens or poor Jamaicans is in a serious crisis, and we have to fix these problems with the living standards and conditions of our citizens. Thank you for your messages, Cuban in Georgia. Keep them coming. 876-922-4112 are the regular call-in lines. 876-922-4112. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Hello to Natalie Winter in Washington Gardens. Thank you very much for tuning in. And salute as well to all the others who are in touch with us. Somebody who goes by the moniker Sitting Here Watching. That's a line from a Dennis Brown song. And worth our consideration. So another caller, 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon, Mr. Coombs.